It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
All right, welcome in TGIF. We made it Friday. Thanks for being with us. Date night in America. I'll be working. See, we've got our annual Children's Miracle Network Radiothon going on, the 27th annual edition, and it's raising money for the Maynard Children's Hospital in Greenville. Good first day. We're picking up steam as we head down the stretch run, raising money for programs and services at Maynard's Children's Hospital, which services 29 counties in eastern North Carolina. The event has raised $3.8 million coming into this year. The number is 1-800-673-KIDS, 1-800-673-5437. You can also download on the IBX Media app. And as we hit Final Four weekend, we got a lot of things to talk about from the world of sports, but this is very important. Elise Ironmonger is with the Maynard Children's Hospital and does a fabulous job, her and Rhonda and everybody on their team. And here we are. Now, she's got an old shirt on today. I don't know what that is about, Elise, but
I wore this year's yesterday, so today I'm wearing last year's special shirt.
Yeah. I like this year's Miracle Maker T-shirt. I think it's really festive. I like it a lot. It has the kind of retro cool design. Yeah. I like it.
Good. Cool. Well,
if you want
get one. Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, let's
tell
them
can
how.
Get one if they become a Miracle Maker, and that's our recurring monthly gift club. So if you want to donate $20 or more, we will take more, but at least $20 a month, you join this club, and you can just set it on your credit card. You can send checks if you want, but yeah, you just set it and forget it. Or $240 a year or more. You know, if you do the $20 for a year, that's $240. So again, if you just want to do lump sums every year, that's fine too. But it's this monthly club that ensures the continual support of this hospital. And so for this is for the people that are very invested in the care that these kids are receiving in Eastern North Carolina and want to make sure year after year, month after month, that these kids are receiving the care that they need. And every year you get a really cool shirt. So,
right. And I like the shirt from last year. It's purple. I mean, it sticks with the theme, but just this year is just
then, so we went with the purple. But yeah, this year we went with something a little bit different, a little bit fun. But yeah, every single year we'll have a new design. And so every year people can proudly wear their shirt and know that they're part of a really special club.
Of the Ironmonger couple, Elise is my favorite. Of course, Charlie, the weatherman, he's actually a meteorologist. I'm dismissing him like he's a weatherman. Right. He's actually earned a degree in this. But Charlie, the weatherman, at Channel 7, yes, Elise is his much better half. I don't really know Charlie, so I shouldn't be saying all these terrible things about him.
You might change your mind because he's my favorite and he's the best.
All right. I thought I was your favorite, but okay, that's fine. That's of the radio people, I'm your favorite. That's cool. Yes,
absolutely.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah. So Elise, today we've had a lot of the miracle families come in, the miracle children come in. What are some stories you would like to share with the folks here as we compel them here before 6 o'clock to make a donation today?
Yeah. So we've had Leah Collins came in earlier today. And she's the one that was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, a cancerous tumor, and went through basically every kind of treatment you could go through, including like a trial. Like they tried everything: radiation, chemo, some infusions, literally everything, and nothing was working. And it got to a point where her mom, she was like 2 at the time, and she had spent probably over half her life receiving these treatments in and out of hospitals. And her mom just finally said, let's just bring her home. Let's bring her home. Let's stop these treatments. Nothing's, let's just bring her home. Let her be a kid. Let her just live out whatever life she's got left with family and, the quality, right? And then, they had done that, and there was one last thing they could try. The doctors came in and said, like, let's try this one last thing. And again, she just told a story that, she was sitting in a parking lot waiting to pick up her oldest daughter from cheerleading camp, and got the call that it had worked, that this thing had finally worked, and that she was getting better. And she just had some scans this January, so 3 months ago, and they're gone. Like, it's awesome. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it, but like, yeah, it's gone. Like, and her mom just said, like, I was thinking that, like, the numbers were down, like that's usually the kind of good news they were getting, but it's like gone. And so her mom, the only word that she can describe it is it's a miracle. She is a true miracle. Leia, she was doing ballet earlier. She loves to dance, so she was showing the studio her dance moves. And she actually chose the music to her story this year, Alicia Keys' "Girl on Fire," which is totally appropriate for her because she's on fire and she's gonna go do amazing things. She's 6 right now, and so she's just got a full, wonderful life ahead of her, and that's exactly why we do what we do. And we need people to call in so that we can continue helping kids like Leia. We need people to call 1-800-673-5437.
Yep, or you can go to the IBX Media app and do that. All right, so on 107.9 WNCT, we're going to try to end our show a little early, so folks can head over there or head on the IBX Media app to 107.9, and you all will have the final tally announced today.
I'm excited.
The service area, this is not just a Pitt County hospital, is it, Elise?
No, and, we had, throughout the telethon, radiothon, we've got, different doctors and nurses and staff at the hospital. Someone said yesterday, I think she said that it's like 60% of our patients are not from this county, like not from Pitt County. We serve 29 counties, and we're it. We just hit level 1 trauma center status for pediatrics. So in those 29 counties, if there is a serious injury or someone is diagnosed with a serious disease, they come here in those 29 counties. And it's like a 4 hour, 2 hours north of us and 2 hours south of us. So like that entire area, we are Eastern North Carolina's hospital.
Again, the number is 800-673-KIDS. We compel you to give what you can. If it's $5, if it's $100, if it's $50, $240 to be a miracle maker, $20 recurring each month comes out to that. Whatever, you're helping not only children that are currently being treated, but you're investing in the future treatment of perhaps your children, God forbid, or your neighbor, or something like that. Elise, thank you so much. It's great to see you.
You too.
And you all have done a great job with this, as always. So we really appreciate it. Thank you. And again, 107.9 WNCT at the top of the hour. They will have the tally for everyone to pick up.
Yes, thank you.
Long hours, but it's a labor of love in many ways. Elise, great to see you, and we'll hopefully see you before next year.
Absolutely.
All right, Elise Ironmonger with us here as our Children's Miracle Network Radiothon continues on. Stay tuned. More of the Patrick Johnson Show. We're going to talk NCAA. We also are going to hear some from the Pirate Coordinator Hour. It is the Get You to the Weekend edition of the Patrick Johnson.
Ready to save thousands with a great rate? Get 0% financing at Greenville Toyota during the Great Rate Sales Event. Shop our massive inventory of new Toyotas, available as low as 0%. Hurry to Greenville Toyota today, where our volume saves you money.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Dum-dum-dum. Get low, get low, get low. 369, ooh, she fine. Hoping she can sing it to me one more time. Get low, get low, get low, get low.
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild. When a place is as special as this, you don't want to change a thing. You simply want to enjoy it, just as it is. That was our inspiration behind Bow Coast West, our newest community in Beaufort, North Carolina. Embrace all that we love about this very special place and make it easy for families to enjoy all that this coastal lifestyle has to offer. Be inspired. Bow Coast West.
New Toyotas, 0 down and only $369 a month at Greenville Toyota during the Great Rate Sales Event. Buy with 0% or get Corollas, $369 a month with 0 down. This is not a lease, you own it. Plus, get our Greenville Advantage at Greenville Toyota.
Taking the rage out of your drive home?
You just cut me off! But it's no big deal.
Patrick Johnson on 94.3 The Game and the new IBX Media app.
All right, welcome back. PJ here with you on the Get You to the Weekend, Final Four weekend edition of the PJ Show. Philip the Ref Pilkington producing. Thanks to Elise Ironmonger for being with us as our Children's Miracle Network Radiothon continues until the top of the hour for our IBX Media Group stations. Let's go now to the port city of Wilmington, where the Azalea Festival is happening. Is it the Queen is 77 Sharon Lawrence, or is it the 77th Azalea? I think it's the 77th Azalea Festival, because there's no way she's... And then, like, I saw this country music singers there, and was it T-Pain was performing last night? I don't know if any of this is in your wheelhouse, but there it is.
It is not. I can tell you that there used to be a golf tournament many years ago held concurrently, which featured some of the greatest to ever play, including Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson. Arnold Palmer won the tournament. I can tell you that Ronald Reagan came one time, way before he was president, when he was still kicking around at the end of his acting career. But no, it is certainly a big deal. It'll be quite festive downtown Wilmington, and I will try to stay far away.
I hear you. Good for you. Brian Mull is with us here from college. Well, from Joe Lenardi's team. Lenardi and you exchanging some DAP this week. So Brian is with us here, and of course with Blue Ribbon, covering college basketball, covering golf. We're talking hoops as it's Final Four weekend. I want to start with a couple of the ECU portal guys. Brandon Johnson, it's reported, is heading to Miami. How do you think he will fit in with what Larinaga does, being the stretch four who can rebound?
Yeah, I think it's a great fit for Brandon. Jim has really gone all in on this positionless type of basketball, 4 around 1, if not 5 out, real free and loose. Jim's the rare coach who, as he's gotten older, has given his teams more freedom on offense and played with more pace, and allowed them to, really just get one-on-one and exploit the matchups. And we saw that work 2 years ago on their run to the Final Four with an extremely talented team. He has also been very proactive in the portal through the last few years, and been able to put talented rosters on the court. I know they struggled a little bit this year, but I think it's a good fit for Brandon. He's a guy that can make some threes, as we've seen. I think if he can put the ball on the ground and get to the basket, that would even be a stronger another piece of his game that would benefit him. And certainly his ability to rebound is, always valuable at any level of basketball. Guys who can get on the glass on both ends are of value. So I think it's a nice fit for Brandon, an opportunity for him to, put up some numbers and draw the attention of some professional scouts.
How about Ezra Azar? I actually see where, and as we're talking to you here, nothing firm yet on where he's headed, but he's actually ranked ahead of Johnson as far as the power forward position or the four position. Again, I know we're playing positionless basketball in a lot of instances, but like overall in the, available in the portal as of yesterday, he's, just outside the top 50. Brandon Johnson had a better season. It's like everything in basketball now. We're doing it on potential. It seems like we don't ever evaluate appropriately what's going on right now. And look, I know there's parts of his game. He's only a sophomore academically, so and as far as 2 years in, so I mean, there's plenty he can improve on. But I don't see that with Ezra. And that's I'm not trying to be cruel. I don't see where he's a top 50 player in the portal right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we've seen flashes, we've seen moments, but the knock on him has been his physicality and ability to finish consistently around the basket, and also, at his size in this era, you've got to be able to knock down the outside shot a little bit to keep the defense honest, and that's not really been a part of his game. Maybe that's something that he develops over the summer and going forward in a different role. It's a total balance. Going back, I remember talking to a friend of mine who's now a high level NBA scout 20 years ago when he was doing some high school, recruiting, rating the top prospects. And we were talking about players, especially bigger guys. And, he was like, you're finding that balance always looking, is it their potential? Are they productive? Some guys are productive, but they have a lower ceiling. And it matters what a team needs and wants. But, Ezra can help someone. I don't think he's going to have maybe the high level power conference offers that maybe we thought at one time, though.
Where do you see Pettiford winding up?
I think Pettiford would be a great addition to a CAA or maybe even an A10 type team. I think he's someone who, certainly has some ability. I wonder about his confidence. I felt like maybe he was regaining some of what he had lost at Kansas early last year. And then it seemed like as the season unfolded, he was back, kind of searching a little bit. And again, it's just so difficult in modern college basketball to have a ball handling guard who's not a good 3-point shooter because of the way that teams are defending. If you are a good driver, they're just going to go underneath all the ball screens, and that takes away some of your driving ability and clogs the lane a little bit. So, I think he could really help a lot of teams, but I think it's probably, like I said, that CAA, maybe mid-tier A10 level. It could be a starter and have a nice finish to his career somewhere.
We've got Brian Mull on the line with us here talking college basketball. All right, let's get into the Final Four. UConn seems to be the prohibitive favorite, the betting favorite, and the expert favorite. They got in yesterday morning at 6:10 a.m. local time, I believe, because their plane had a mechanical issue, the one that the NCAA had chartered for them. And so they didn't leave till 1:30 in the morning from Connecticut. So there you go.
I mean, what are we doing, Patrick? What year is this? How many planes do we have? I mean, is there a limited number of airplanes that are available to the NCAA? I mean, this is something that happens occasionally in the first round. I know it happened to Griff Aldrich and Longwood a couple of years ago where their plane was late. And, that really was a bummer for them because you lose some of that experience, especially a team like that that's probably not going to hang around very long. But we're down to 4 teams. We can't have a backup plane or a plan B in case there's something wrong with the first plane. Just typical NCAA. I mean, we're seeing it now, and not to get off subject, but college football looking to do everything it can to break further away. And just another classic example of the NCAA's incompetence.
Yeah. Now you could make the argument maybe they should have tried sooner because let's face it, UConn's no academic bastion. And so I don't think the guys are hanging around to make sure they get class projects complete. I search the student athletes, but I mean, again, not exactly Harvard. So, my thought is, you got Alabama and Purdue getting out there the day before or 2 days before this. NC State had gotten there the day before. Why was UConn waiting so late to leave? I mean, that may not have made a hill of beans a difference. I mean, the plane, as you say, why isn't there a backup plane? But I mean, I don't know. It just seems that you'd want to get out there as soon as possible within the realm of not laying around the hotel too much.
Yeah, I mean, coaches, they're creatures of habit and routines, and Danny's probably been pretty regimented with when they've arrived prior to their first game these last 2 weeks, and maybe he was trying to maintain some semblance of that. Didn't want his guys out there too early, getting too wrapped up in all the trappings that are around a Final Four. You never know, but just seems kind of silly. I think it's a non-story by the time, and if anything, it's more motivation for UConn, which is probably the last thing that the other three teams want to hear.
So let's talk about let's talk about that game, Alabama and UConn. Is Alabama the only team that may be able, out of these remaining three others, to give UConn a game, if not knock them off?
Yes, I think so. But here we go again. UConn's a double-digit favorite, and they're 10-0 against the spread the last 2 years. Many of those games as a double-digit favorite. Everything would tell you that the UConn train is going to keep on rolling into Monday night. But watching this UConn team, you are not going to beat them just lining up and playing 5-on-5 and trying to, we saw what Illinois tried to do by trying to go right at Donovan Clingan, and they went 0 for 19 and gave up 30 consecutive points. And Illinois had one of the top three offenses in the country, but Alabama does as well, but they do it obviously much differently. They've got 4, if not 5 guys on the court at all times who can shoot a three, complete freedom to do so. Also, if looking to get to the basket as well when the opportunity presents itself there. And nobody is sharper with analytics and taking shots with positive expected value, more so than Nate Oates. And I just think to beat UConn, you're going to have to make a ton of threes. And obviously Alabama can do that. Now, the kind of the caveat there is this game is being played in a dome. And historically, Final Four shooting percentages have been not great, like I think around 30% all time. It's different. You play in coliseums and arenas the entire season, and then all of a sudden you're in this massive dome. And having been to a couple of Final Fours, like it's wild. There's people, 60,000 people, and then this tiny little court in the middle. So it's a completely different shooting background. But if Alabama can get hot from three and put some game pressure on UConn, which they have not experienced in the second half. I mean, not only have they won these games by double digits, they've been leading by double digits throughout the second half, pretty much across the board. I mean, there's not been a situation where they're at that under 8 or under 4 timeout in the second half, and it's a 1 or 2 possession game and a turnover here or a missed assignment here on defense, and then all of a sudden all the momentum's with the underdog. And there's also something to be said for house money. Bama, nobody really expected Bama to be here outside of that locker room. Certainly with the way they defended throughout the regular season, you felt like they were ripe for an early exit. So they'll be free and loose like they were against North Carolina, like they were in the regional final. And I think, they've got a puncher's shot, but they're going to have to make at least a dozen threes to have any chance to win the basketball game.
Hey, Brian, Philip Pilkington here. I'm wondering if this game is played in a non-football venue, is the spread a lot closer? Is it single digits solely because what you said with the backdrop and, Alabama relies on that 3-point shooting so heavily?
Maybe. I just think the books, and they'll all tell you any comments I've seen from any of the managers of the top sports books in Las Vegas and beyond have said that they have taken an absolute beating on UConn, and they're just so tired of getting beat on UConn that I think, regardless of what their power ratings said, they were going to inflate this line by a couple of points, knowing that the public and the sharp bettors too are on UConn, and wisely so. I mean, it's been a profitable situation. But yeah, maybe a point lower if it were in an arena, but I certainly think that has to factor into your handicap there somewhat. We've seen a lot of really good shooters through the years. Historically, everybody who's a fan of a team can remember an instance where a guy who was shooting the lights out all through the tournament got to this point and went 1 for 9 or 0 for 8, and you just. The thing that Bama's got going for them, they've got so many guys who can shoot it. Like somebody's going to probably be hot. It's just a matter of getting a couple of guys going.
Caleb Love and R.J. Davis, who all of a sudden went cold in the tournament, if you will. All right, we're talking to Brian Mull at BG Mull on X. You can follow him there. He'll be tweeting all kinds of witticisms and observations during the Final Four. Last thing on the UConn-Alabama game, Tristan Newton, ex-ECU player, all-time scorer in the state of Texas, which I don't think enough people realize. Naismith Player of the Year finalist. Wish he could win it. As you look at Newton, what kind of imprint will he need to have not only this weekend, but in this particular game for UConn to cut down the nets?
Well, it's obvious UConn wants to establish Klingon early in the post, as they should. I mean, he's probably, if not for Zach Edey, the best post player in the country. But to me, Newton's at his best when he is controlling tempo, pushing when the opportunity is there, but then pulling back out and managing the team, and then his ability to get into the lane. I think the one thing Tristan can do every once in a while, like most guards, is settle for some threes. So I think that's something to watch in the first half there. Is Newton able to beat his defender, force the Alabama defense into some type of scramble, and then he generally does a very good job of picking apart the defense from there. And UConn is a very unselfish team where they'll turn down a good shot to get a great shot. So if Alabama can keep him out of the lane, that's a good sign for them. But if he's able to kind of go where he wants to, he's just got such tremendous size at that position as well, where he's generally got a height and length advantage over whoever's guarding him on the perimeter. And he's big enough to get inside and finish with the trees as well. I've been just I can't remember a player improving as much, and I always thought he was a good player at East Carolina, but he's improved dramatically during his 2 years in Stores.
All right, before we talk the next game, we may do a break here, but really quick, we'll just roll on. Who does UConn cover?
Yeah, I think they pull away late. I think it's close for about 30 minutes, and then if you've got Alabama plus 11 or whatever, or 12, you're feeling great, and then when the horn goes off, you're not feeling so good.
Alabama!
All right, let's talk NC State and Purdue. Boy, the Wolfpack. This has been quite a run. It's not quite 83 in that, the similarity. They had to win the tournament to get in, although there's a little bit of an argument. Had North Carolina State, once they beat Carolina in the semis, they probably had punched their ticket for an at-large. Nonetheless, they had to win the ACC tournament to get in this year. They get through the first weekend, and then they knock off Duke, of all teams, in the Sweet 16, beat very good Marquette team also in the Sweet 16. And here they are against Purdue. I'm as big a critic of Matt Painter as anybody on the planet, who by the way, spent time on the staff at Barton as an assistant years and years ago. Matt Painter, yeah. How about that nugget? So Matt Painter, despite being on the sidelines for Purdue, they've gotten to the Final Four. Zach Edey's been able to overcome the Painter. All right. So what the Pack have done is amazing. I mean, it's It's right with what FAU did last year and San Diego State did last year, and to a degree what VCU did all those years ago.
It's been incredible. I've watched State quite a bit this year, and it was a lot of head-scratching performances. I threw a tweet out there when Duke was handling them at Reynolds, but at PNC in March in the second half and pulling away and just thinking, man, this team, like just kind of evaluating the personnel, this team has too much talent to be on this side of the bubble. And to their credit, to Kevin Keatts' credit, they decided to start playing a little defense, and specifically, they were struggling to guard ball screens. And if you can't guard ball screens in modern college basketball, you're cooked. And they certainly had the athleticism and the quickness on the perimeter to do so, but it was just a matter of paying attention to details, focusing on the scouting report. And I'm so happy for DJ Burns and the revelation that he's become. I was fortunate to cover DJ pretty closely his 2 years at Winthrop. And it was it was so fun to watch him play, especially at that level. I mean, he's doing the same things there that we've seen the last few weeks, but just to have that combination of touch, footwork, size, and joy for playing the game, it was just always a pleasure to watch him, to interview him. They won championships there when he was at Winthrop. And, we always talk about a point guard making his teammates better. Caitlin Clark from Iowa makes all those players around her better because of her ability to find them, the attention she draws. But DJ Burns is right there in the same boat. He's just doing it from a different position. He can dribble. And Chris Mooney at Richmond mentioned that to me in an interview 4 or 5 years ago, talking about one of his own players who was a very good forward, and says the most valuable skill that a big man can have, because you can feed him the ball wherever you want and he can get to his spot. And DJ Burns has proven that he can get to his spot. They double team him. Rarely do they take the ball away from him. He forces the coach on the other team to make a decision on how they're going to guard him. And he's one-on-one. I don't think there's anybody in the country that can stop him. And just what a story. I mean, incredible. Certainly, NC State's been on the back burner for many, many years, and in the shadow of their two rivals to the west. And it's just, I'm happy for Kevin Keatts. I know when he took the job, the kind of one of the thoughts was if Kevin can just hang in there, Roy's going to retire, Kay's going to retire, and maybe the playing field will level a little bit. And it's taken maybe a little bit longer than some State fans had hoped, but possibly coming to fruition. They just had a great signing yesterday in the transfer portal. Kid from Louisville. Certainly they're going to have a lot of opportunities to restock the roster going forward. And they have proven that you can do it in Raleigh, which a lot of people doubted, and rightfully so, considering it had been 40 years.
Yeah. Brian Mull with us here. All right. So, and I don't know if we're necessarily going to see Edey on Burns. They might have Edey check Daria in a way because of Daria's rebounding prowess. I don't know. But how much is Edey a problem for what NC State likes to do?
He's a problem. He is a problem for everybody. I mean, he is a giant, and there's no defense for that. I mean, I don't think you can worry a lot about Zach Edey in your defensive game plan. As crazy as that sounds, like, he is going to get 30 points. He is going to get 15 rebounds. You've got to pay attention to the four guys around him. And I'm not overly impressed with Purdue's guards. I think State's backcourt's better. And guards win games a lot of times. So if Burns can stay out of foul trouble and just stay on the floor and play 30 minutes, who knows? Like, again, all the pressure's on Purdue. State's playing with house money. But, I mean, Edey is just he's as dominant as we've seen. And I don't even know who to compare him to because of he's 7'4". He's so skilled.
And it's Hampson. But that's more than a generation ago. And that's the only comparison.
Yeah. I mean, he's incredible. He's amazing. They've to Painter's credit, like, he's put shooters around him. They're second in the nation in over 40% in threes. Edey, he offensive rebounds and keeps possessions alive, or gets tip ins. He shoots 1 billion free throws. I mean, he's made 300 free throws in one basketball season. I mean, good players go a career and don't make 300. And 62% from the field, and just on the elite offensive rebounder. I mean, he doesn't foul. Apparently, he's rarely in foul trouble. So, Kevin Keats could pull into the Jimmy V playbook and run the triangle in two and put both players around Edey, like Jimmy V did with Ralph Sampson in that ACC championship game many, many years ago. But I don't know if you need to. I think you just accept that his production is going to be the same as it's been all year, and you got to try to do your best on those other 4 guys.
All right, so Purdue's 9-point favorite. Does Purdue win and cover?
Take the dog.
Okay.
I believe in the Pack.
All right.
I really do.
All right.
I think
straight up or to cover? Straight up or against the spread?
Take them to cover, right. and maybe if you want to get crazy, a little sprinkle on the money line. But take the points. Purdue doesn't scare me with the blowout ability as much as NC, as UConn. Like UConn, you feel like they're trying to stomp on your throat and win by 20. I think this game's pretty close. I really do. I've just I think State's got older guys, and they have a confidence right now where they do not see themselves as a Cinderella in any fashion. They believe that they're supposed to be here. They the wins over Duke, the win over North Carolina, the win over Marquette. I mean, I think they feel like they can match up with any team, and they're going to get an opportunity against a team that's been in the top 3 since October. So, we'll see. But I like the Pack. I don't know why. I'm on the train.
I got you. All right, Brian, great stuff. We appreciate it. So you got Purdue and UConn in the Natty, and who would win?
Oh, the Huskies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
they're the best team.
That was
yeah. I mean,
hey, Brian, these are the 2 semifinals are interesting. The national may not be, regardless of who it is against UConn. Hey, Brian, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you sometime next week with the Masters.
Okay. Yeah.
With the Masters. Yeah. A lot of fun. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick. Have a good weekend.
All right, there he goes. Brian Mull. Yeah, you too, pal. Great to have Brian on. He's fantastic. All right, let's let's go to Pilk. Pilk, you got an update, and then we'll come back and do a Pirate Report and wrap this puppy up. Here's Philip the Ref Pilkington with a sports update.
Thanks, P-Man. We will start in Pirate Athletics. The baseball team will be back in action tonight as they travel down to Boca Raton to take on the FAU Owls, who are coming off a midweek victory over an ACC opponent, the Miami Hurricanes, same as the Pirates, who beat NC State over the midweek. And the baseball locker room is a very good place, according to DH Conley grad Dixon Williams.
It's something special. These guys are great, and we've been talking about it all year. This is the tightest knit group, and man, it's fun to come up to the field every day, pretty much. That's all I can really say. We're just having a good time, and the winnings kind of follow.
Be sure to stay tuned right here to 94.3 The Game. Network coverage will start at 6:15 for that 6:30 first pitch. The games will be on 94.3 The Game all weekend long. Be sure to head out to the Bill Carson Invitational this weekend and support the track team, as it will be their lone home meet of the season. Also at noon tomorrow, lacrosse will be hosting number 10 Florida, and softball will be at home all this weekend against UTSA. Admission to all of those are free all season long. Seton Hall rallied late last night, scoring the final 9 points of the NIT championship game to beat the Indiana State Sycamores by 2 points, 79-77, to claim the NIT championship. The women's Final Four will be getting underway here in just over an hour. Up in Cleveland, as NC State will play South Carolina at 7, and then at roughly 9:30, UConn will take on Iowa. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We will return with audio from the earlier part of the week with Blake Harrell and John David Baker.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
And now, Patrick Johnson with today's Pirate Report on the flagship station of the ECU Pirates, 94.3 The Game.
All righty. Welcome. We're going to take you to... a few minutes so we can give you time to go over and check out our colleagues at 107.9 WNCT as they're doing yeoman's work with the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon. Still plenty of time for you to give, and I hope you will consider that. The phone number is 800-673-KIDS. This is for the Maynard Children's Hospital here in Eastern North Carolina. You can always go to the IBX Media app as well. Let's try to get through as many of these cuts as possible. That is part of our Pirate Report today. Let's start with John David Baker, as he feels really good about where the offense is heading into tomorrow's scrimmage, tomorrow morning inside of Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Hit it.
I feel really good about where it's at. We're ahead of where I thought we might be. The kids have done a great job of just kind of absorbing everything we've thrown at them. So it's really a testament to them and the work that they put in. I mean, there's not a unit meeting that we're in there installing things. Not every one of them's locked in with something to write with, and so it's a testament to them and to these coaches doing a great job of getting things taught and trying to get them as detailed as we possibly can in the 3 weeks that we have. But I'm extremely pleased with where we're at so far.
All right. Let's talk about the quarterback so far from JDB, and he says that they right now are playing some pretty good football. It's been an even competition. Cut 8.
I'm really, really pleased. The thing that I'm most excited about with them is that they've both done a great job of taking care of the ball. Other than this last Saturday in the scrimmage, we have done an extremely great job of not throwing the ball to the other team, and that goes skill-wise as well. We've done a great job protecting the football. It's something that we preach every day, something we work every day in practice. So that's the thing that I've been most proud of, as a whole room. And then just same thing, they're just like the rest of the unit. Every day they walk into my meetings, they want to learn. They want to go fast. They want to learn more and more. And so that's been exciting for me because they want to fully grasp this thing and understand what we're doing.
And this is more from John David Baker. Let's hear about the offensive line and how they are grasping the new offensive scheme.
Yeah, I'd be honest with you, those guys, they got the hardest job. There's no doubt about it, because you're asking a 300-pounder to run up and down the field like he's never done before. But the good thing about them is that the guy that's leading them, he's done it over and over again, and so he does a great job of coaching those guys up, teaching them how to do it. And I tell you, I work out every morning. Every time I go in there after one of those 6 a.m. lifts, it's like it looks like a Tour de France over there. All the linemen are getting extra cardio on the treadmills, on the bikes. So they're taking the steps they need to take to put themselves in a position to go be successful.
All right, let's hear about how the tight ends are shaping up. Number 11 on our soundbite menu today.
It's huge because I don't care how many you have. You can never have enough, in my opinion, because I didn't make it through one season that I've coached tight ends where I had more than 2 guys at the end of the season. It's just the position that it's hard on those guys. And this is, knock on wood, this is the best depth I've had at the position. And we got really good players in there. We got 4 or 5 guys that I really feel like we could go put in a game and they're going to help us win. So I'm extremely excited about the position. And, like I said, we talk to our guys all the time about, prove that the unit's better when you're in the game. And so there's nothing that says that we can't go play next year and play in some 12 personnel. And to me, it's if those 2 or whatever 2 guys it is out of that room make us better offensively, let's go do it. And so that's been, the approach to those guys, and they've done a great job learning the offense because, like I've said before, that position besides quarterback, they've kind of got the biggest learning curve for as many things we ask them to do.
All right, so that's the offensive story. Let's hear from Blake Harrell now, and lucky number 13. He talks about the defense and how it has looked so far in the spring.
Yeah, it feels, I guess it's day, practice 9? Yeah. Feels like practice 2 sometimes. Flies by, and I think sometimes when you're enjoying it and you're having a good time and kids are flying around, that's awesome. But I think the big thing we focused on is protecting our culture, and that's effort-based defense, playing fast, running the ball, our tackling. I think those are the 2 things we took out Saturday and said, hey, here's the things we got to work on. And it's just pursuit, which could, if you're pursuing the ball, you're not going to give up big plays. And then attacking. We had some overruns, so that was what we really focused on in practice day with the tackling circuit and the pursuit drill. It was a good day for that. So, and we got some kids that have flashed, and some new guys that have flashed. So that's been a pleasant surprise, and really proud of those guys. Proud of our older guys for embracing what we do, how we do things, and just moving forward with it. And then we've had some young freshmen, high school kids that just got here that show that there's why we recruited them, why we signed them, and that they belong here. So. It's been an interesting spring, a new offense will make you get lined up fast and put some stress on you defensively. So we've been dealing with that as well as going through what we do. So it's been good.
All right, Blake Harrell, and who has impressed him in the rush position?
I'm really excited about Sam Danka and Raheem Craig. Different in their own ways. Raheem is right now he's always played the D line, always had his hand on the ground. But I think he has some really good twitch. He gets off the ball and some power to him, speed to him. Got really good bend. And then Sam Danka's length out there, and he's more of an in-space guy, off-the-ball guy. Was a high school safety, invert, obviously. So 2 different guys that we're trying to, convert into an outside backer position. But they've grasped it really well. And we obviously got some more work to do to get them to the final product and where we need to be. But just really excited about those 2 guys, and even some guys down the line. Jackson Barker's another guy that's doing a really good job out there. Shy Thompson is a freshman out there that showed that, he belongs here at this level. And then we got some other options out there as well.
All right, let's squeeze one more in here and some guys in the safety room who do need to emerge for the Pirate defense.
Jordan Huff started some games. Dante Nash started some games. Omar Rogers, Devin King, they've all started back there. As part-time guys. They haven't been the guy yet. And I think days like today challenged them a little bit. I mean, there was a lot of running. We did our half-field man work, stacks and bunches. We did a perimeter drill, which is throw the screens out there, and they're getting blocked on the edges, and they got to go make the play. We did a skelly. We did a live team run. Might as well have been an inside run. We did a goal line period, and we did a tip-o team period at the end. And that first safety, that's a lot of stress on your body and a lot of thinking, getting lined up, a lot of different defenses in right now. We basically have a whole playbook in right now in non-practice. So for those guys, that's, it pushes them, and it pushes them to get to that position. I think that you got to stress them to be the guy. And if we can do that, then I think we'll be fine in the fall. But, they all four have shown flashes that they can make plays and done some really good things. They just got to be consistent with it.
The scrimmage tomorrow for the Pirates, last scrimmage before the spring game, and that will be coming up inside of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. We'll have coverage on the social medias. We'll have Pilk, let's go ahead and get Joey Football for Friday. Or excuse me, for Monday. Because is he going? Joey Football's going, or are you going?
It's either Joey Football.
Sound like
or Dom.
Henry.
I can't remember. I can't remember which one it is. But Joey Football, if he doesn't go, he will be talking to all the guys, and he'll give us good insight.
Okay.
So
I think we're gonna lose.
Well, we don't need Kasocki.
I think we're gonna lose.
So let's get Joey Football booked for Monday to talk about the game. I'll be near. Well, actually, I probably won't be there in time for the game because of the time of the softball tomorrow. By the way, if you want to see more of this increasingly thin face, you can go to ESPN Plus. Check me out there for Pirate softball, ongoing, right? Magic of radio and all, and also check me out there on Saturday at 4 and Sunday at noon. We'll be back on Monday morning with Talk of the Town. We will be back with the Patrick Johnson Show on 5 o'clock on Friday. Cliff Godwin around, I think 9:45 is the time for our conversation with Coach Godwin coming up on Monday for our social media channels. So a lot to get into there. If you want to give, you still have time to do so. 800-673-KIDS or the IBX Media app for our Children's Miracle Network Radiothon. And you can also, after we wrap up here in about a minute, flip over to our sister station, 107.9 WNCT, and the IBX Media app to get the final tallies from the annual Radiothon for Maynard Children's Hospital. Thank you for those who have donated. And if you are considering doing so, go ahead and get that tally in. They'll update you at the top, near the top of the hour. Pirate baseball tonight, and it'll be a 6:15 airtime with a 6:30 first pitch from Boca Raton. Opening game of the series, ECU and FAU. Pirates look to keep the good times rolling. Thanks to Brian Mull for being with us. Pilk, I'm going to go UConn State. Straight up the Wolfpack. What you got?
I got UConn and the Boilermakers.
Probably what it's going to be. I just felt like being a little different. All right. Pilk, have a great weekend. Everybody else have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Be safe out there. So long, everybody.